So we're gonna give this a nice cleanup afterward.
Hey guys, Mila Clark Buckley, the Hangry Woman here, and today I'm doing a review of Nespresso's most intense pod. It's called Napoli. It's on a 13, on a scale of 1 to 13. It's a number 13 on their intensity scale, and I haven't tried a pod this intense yet. I normally do barista collection. I normally really love the softer coffees, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and try one of the more intense coffees. And so I have a pod of Napoli, and that is what we're doing today. Before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you love coffee videos. And I also make diabetes friendly content, so I try to be mindful about my blood sugars. I have type 1.5 diabetes, or latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. It's a slow progressing form of type 1 diabetes. I always feel like coffee makes me spike, but I love it anyway, and I always try and come up with fun and inventive drinks that are still blood sugar friendly and just fun to do. So give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you love videos like that, and let's get to the actual coffee making. Okay, so like I said, Napoli is a 13 on the Nespresso intensity scale. Nespresso's intensity scale really tells you about the depth of flavor of the coffees, how long they're roasted, and really like how intense and full-bodied they are. And so it always scares me when I see that I like an intensity 7, intensity 8. Like I said, I normally go for the barista collection ones that like have nothing on the intensity scale. A lot of them, if you like swipe through the app or look through the website, the barista collections just don't have, you know, those intense types of numbers. So I was really intrigued by this specific pod because it was so high intensity, and I really wanted to try it. So let me tell you guys a little bit about this coffee, and then we'll get to brewing it. Napoli, like I said, is an intensity 13. It's dark and creamy, and Nespresso says that it's from the streets of Naples, the local deep-rooted coffee ritual inspired by our dark roasting method, which masterfully developed the coffee to an intense degree. Leavened with Robusta from Uganda, the result is a velvety, creamy cup with an extremely thick body and a pleasant roasted aftertaste. A tribute to the roasting proficiency of the Italian capital of coffee. So I didn't know that Naples was the Italian capital of coffee. I thought that they were famous for Neapolitan pizza, maybe that too, but it's really interesting to hear that about this pod. This pod is best done as a ristretto or an espresso, so you wouldn't go lungo on this capsule. I'm doing this one as a ristretto, which is a short pull of the coffee, and I'm using my Nespresso Creatista Plus to do this one today. I haven't given you guys a review on this machine. I absolutely love it, so a review is coming, and man, I'm just glad that I have it. So it allowed me to get the original line capsules. I wanted to be able to do both, but I didn't want a tiny machine, and I also wanted to be able to steam milk. Now I've got the best of both worlds. Like I said, a review is coming on that. It's probably, I said I wasn't gonna buy anything else this year, but that's probably one of my best purchases, and hopefully one of my last. All right, so let's get to getting our coffee together. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to taste test this first so that I can give you guys a little bit of a sip on its own. And then because of the intensity of this pod, I'm pairing it with oat milk. I find that oat milk just works so nicely because it's already a little bit toasty. It's thick and creamy, works really great with a well-bodied coffee. So I'm gonna do this as kind of like a little oat milk iced latte, pour it over ice, and then I'll give you the recipe for that as well. So let's get to doing our little coffee pod thing. automatically looking at this coffee, it's incredibly intense. It smells so full-bodied. It's such a dark coffee. So taking a look, it's a very dark coffee. I can smell it. It's incredibly full-bodied, very toasty. You can definitely tell that's got a deep roast and a pretty nice crema on top. We'll give it a little taste. Ooh. If you like dark roasted coffee, very dark roasted, nice and like bitter, Napoli's gonna be the coffee for you. If you like a very light coffee like Cosi or Chiaro, this is on the opposite spectrum of those coffees. So I think it's, if you love a dark, strong, bold coffee, I can see why this would be best as a ristretto or an espresso. It is so intense. Like, it is so rich and intense that a little bit really goes a long way. So now that we've tried it, I'm going to do kind of an oat milk latte with it, and let me walk you through it. Okay, so to make our coffee, we're gonna steam some milk. So I'm gonna use about 6 ounces of oat milk. We're just making a nice little iced latte today. So I'm gonna fill to the first line in my pitcher, which I'm pretty sure is about 6 ounces. And then we're gonna give it a little steam. So we're just gonna go till we get to our milk froth setting and then start it up. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Okay, well, that has never happened to me before. And I don't think I overfilled it. But there you go. I leave these things in. These are the things that happen. So we're gonna give this a nice cleanup afterward. But let's get our milk out. That is so crazy. That honestly, guys, has never happened before. So we're gonna give this a nice cleanup afterward. Oh my God. Cut, not my day. All right, so after the aftermath of all of that, I pulled a new ristretto shot and I'm going to make my little iced latte and not spill it everywhere this time. So first I'm gonna take some caramel. I always like to add a little bit of caramel to more intense coffees. So we'll give it a nice little bit of caramel. Then I'm gonna pour what milk I have left right in, and it's got a little bit of foam, which is nice. So I think I was just saying that I love the Creatista so much because it so beautifully foams the milk. It over foamed the milk this time, but it does do a really good job. So you can see it made this like really beautiful froth. I like feel like I don't have to use my Arancino anymore because of that. And then we're gonna pour in our coffee. Absolutely beautiful, looks so good. And we know next time to not place our shot right next to our pitcher because it'll just fly right off. And then give it a nice stir to get everything stirred together. I'll show it to you guys. So, looks just like any other regular iced coffee or iced espresso that I would make. It tastes really good. The oat milk, like I said, for really intense coffees is just really nice. I think it calms them down even more than milk does, but it also pairs it, gives it like a little bit of extra sweetness because of the oats in it. And then it has oats like generally kind of toasted, have this like toasty, nutty flavor. And so I think it does that as well and brings out those like high roast, you know, flavors from the really intense coffee. So overall, I think if you are into really, really dark coffees, the Napoli pod is a great pod for you. If you like more of the barista collection, the ones that pair really well with milk, this is great with milk. It's honestly wonderful. It's great with regular milk. It's great with oat milk, but it is strong and intense and is going to kind of like overpower that milky flavor that you get. So I think, you know, you just have to kind of decide what you like. On its own, it is a very strong coffee. I don't ever think I would drink that coffee as an espresso shot. I would drink it as a ristretto almost every time because of its intensity. But it is a really good pod. I really do enjoy it, and I think it works well just like this. So hopefully you try this recipe, you like it, you think it's good. I think this is how I'm going to take all of my intense coffees. Oat milk is just the way to go with it, I feel like, and it ends up being like really creamy, delicious, and very frothy. So I think if you're looking for that, that's what you get in this pod. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I really appreciate you watching. Let me know if you've ever tried the Napoli pod or if you're interested in trying it. I think, you know, I always love hearing your opinions, hearing what pods you like, hearing what pods you don't like. So please do leave that down below in the comments. Share this with somebody else who loves Nespresso. And also don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked the video. Definitely give me a thumbs up for the spill. I think that was probably the best part of this whole thing. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.